In an era of auto-tune, digital filters, and manufactured stars, one voice did the impossible. It sounded too perfect to be human. Millions called her a fraud. The industry called her unmarketable. But while the world was busy debating if she was even real, Lucy Thomas was busy becoming the most powerful independent force in music history. This isn't just a success story. It's the autopsy of an industry that tried to turn a miracle into a product and failed. This is the Porcelain Disruption. Full TTS script combined. The screen flickers with a 14-year-old girl singing "A Thousand Years." It isn't just good, it is terrifyingly perfect. For the American digital audience, accustomed to the gritty imperfections of viral stars, Lucy Thomas felt like a glitch in the Matrix. Thousands of comments flooded her early uploads, not with praise, but with accusations of AI generation and sophisticated vocal masking. The irony was palpable. In an era where everyone uses filters to look and sound human, Lucy's natural purity was so intense it felt artificial. This uncanny valley effect didn't repel viewers. It created a magnetic mystery. People didn't just listen, they investigated. Every breath and every subtle vibrato became a piece of evidence in a global trial to determine if such a voice could truly exist in a biological form. This initial skepticism became the foundation of her digital empire, proving that in a world of noise, absolute clarity is the ultimate disruption. In 2018, the world stage beckoned via The Voice Kids UK. To the casual observer, this was her. To the industry insiders, it was a collision course. When Lucy was eliminated in the semifinals, the shockwaves reached across the Atlantic. For many US fans, this was the definitive villain arc for the music industry. The rejection wasn't based on a lack of talent, but on a lack of. Major networks and labels often seek raw clay they can shape into the current trend. Lucy, however, arrived as a finished marble statue. This moment created a powerful narrative of the underrated prodigy. By being rejected by the establishment, she became a martyr for musical purity. This setback didn't silence her, it liberated her. It was the exact moment the Cavendish Fortress, her family's independent label, was born out of necessity. The rejection was the spark that ignited a 1 million subscriber fire, proving that the gatekeepers no longer held the keys. While her peers were chasing tick trends and major label advances, Lucy retreated into the Cavendish Fortress. This was a radical act of sovereignty. In the US market, where signing a deal is the traditional metric of success, Lucy's family-led independent path was a strategic. They chose total creative control over immediate cash. Every technical decision, from the specific warmth of the microphone preamps to the minimalist visual aesthetic of her videos, was designed to protect the product. This independence allowed her to bypass the pop star machine that often ruins young voices. By staying independent, she maintained a 100% equity stake in her own talent. The artistic impact was a discography that felt timeless rather than trendy. It wasn't just a business move. It was a declaration of war against the industry's soul-crushing standard contracts. She wasn't just a singer anymore. She was a self-contained ecosystem, untouchable and growing. Just as the world began to accept Lucy's solo brilliance, a new element was introduced, her sister. When they sang together, the effect was hypnotic, a mirroring of frequencies so precise it standard acoustic expectations. For the audience, this was the ultimate plot twist. If Lucy was a miracle, then the existence of suggested a secret method, a lineage of discipline that felt almost Victorian in its rigor. Their harmonies didn't just blend, they phased, creating a third, ghostly resonance that felt like a spiritual experience. In the documentary narrative, serves as the living proof. Her presence silenced the AI skeptics. After all, you can't fake two sisters breathing and phrasing in such perfect, haunting synchronization in a single frame. This sisterly bond added an emotional layer to the technical perfection, transforming a vocal performance into a family legacy. It moved the story from the girl who can sing to the sisters who are changing everything. In the age of the overshare, where influencers broadcast their breakfast and their heartbreaks, Lucy Thomas chose a path of radical silence. There were no get-ready-with-me videos, no Twitter feuds, and no tabloid. This was the sacred silence strategy. For the US audience, this created a vacuum of information that fans filled with devotion. By remaining a mystery, she became an icon. Her digital footprint was 100% music. This discipline impacted her career trajectory by making every video release a state event, rather than just another post. The technical purity of her voice was mirrored by the moral purity of her brand. This wasn't accidental. It was a high-stakes bet that the audience still valued the art more than the artist's life. The silence acted as a megaphone. In a world of screaming influencers, the girl who refused to speak, but sang like an angel, became the loudest voice in the room, proving that mystery is the most powerful currency. The climax of the Lucy Thomas narrative arrived at the Lane in late 2024. For years, the digital skeptics had whispered, "Wait until she's live." This was her trial by fire. The West End is not YouTube. There is no undo button, no pitch correction, and no second takes. When she stepped onto that historic stage, the atmosphere was thick with anticipation and hidden doubt. But as the first notes of her set resonated through the hall, the digital fraud narrative died instantly. The live performance didn't just match the recordings, it surpassed them. The physical vibration of her voice in a room full of people was the definitive receipt. For her career, this was the transition from internet sensation to global vocal powerhouse. She had proven that her perfection wasn't a product of the studio, but a product of her soul. The twist was that the very skeptics who came to expose her were the ones who ended up giving her the loudest standing ovation. Lucy's rise is more than a success story. It is an autopsy of the old music industry. By reaching 1 million subscribers and millions of streams as a purely independent artist, she exposed the obsolescence of the major label model. In the US, where the machine dictates what is played on the radio, Lucy proved that the radio no longer matters. Her success is a data-driven nightmare for executives. She demonstrated that an artist can maintain a classical crossover niche and achieve mainstream numbers without surrendering their masters or their image. This fallout is significant. She has become the blueprint for the next generation of virtuoso creators. Her career trajectory shows that if the talent is undeniable and the distribution is direct, the middleman is just an expensive ghost. She didn't just break the rules, she showed that the rules were actually illusions. Her independence is her greatest hit, proving that the future of music belongs to those who own their own voice. Beyond the business and the mystery lies the frequency, the specific emotional impact Lucy has on her. In a post-pandemic world, her music acts as a form of auditory healing. US listeners often describe her voice as crystalline or pure, terms usually reserved for sacred music. This technical precision has a profound psychological effect. It provides a sense of order and beauty in a chaotic cultural landscape. This isn't just entertainment, it's a form of emotional regulation for her audience. Critical reception has slowly shifted from too perfect to essential. Her ability to take a song like A Thousand Years, a track already beloved, and strip it down to its skeletal beauty changed how covers are perceived. She isn't just singing songs, she is cleansing them. This artistic impact has created a that is fiercely protective, viewing her not as a celebrity to be consumed, but as a treasure to be guarded. Her voice is the calm at the center of the internet's storm. Protecting a young artist in the digital age is a minefield of difficult chapters. Many child stars before her faced personal challenges and stepped away from the spotlight due to burnout or exploitation. Lucy's story is the counter-narrative. By using soft phrasing and a privacy-first policy, her team ensured she never became a victim of the child star curse. She reportedly focused on her craft rather than her fame, allowing her to transition from a teenager to a young adult with her dignity and mental health intact. This ethical framing is crucial for the documentary arc. It shows that her stellar trajectory wasn't a fluke of luck, but a result of a protected environment. While other stars were reportedly focused on recovery, Lucy was focused on her next album. This stability is her silent power. It proves that you can be a global superstar without losing your humanity to the prying eyes of the world, making her a role model for a new, healthier type of stardom. As we look toward the future, Lucy Thomas stands at the precipice of a new era. She has already achieved what most artists spend a lifetime chasing: total financial and creative freedom. The ending of this chapter isn't a conclusion but a grand opening. Her legacy will be defined by technical purity in an age of AI synthetic voices. As digital voices become indistinguishable from human ones, Lucy's human perfection will only increase in value. She is the lighthouse for a return to vocalism where the primary driver of fame is the actual skill of the singer. Her impact on the industry is a permanent twist in the story of pop music. She proved that you don't need a scandal, a label, or a trend to conquer the world. You just need a voice that sounds like a miracle and the courage to let it stand alone. The Porcelain Disruption is complete. The girl who was too perfect to be real has become the most real thing in the music industry.